Hello and welcome to the Apex Racing TV esports studio and our coverage of round 6 of the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy. Tonight we head to Imola, and with a new championship leader in the pro category, we could well see decisive results when we enter the second half of the season. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is David Sampson. And David, the images behind us demonstrate the wet weather that we had 2 weeks ago. We had endurance last week. But it was 2 weeks ago that we visited Nürburgring. It was really good fun to visit that circuit in those conditions, but we're back into the track. We're back on one of the drivers' favourite circuits, I think, Imola.
I love this track. I think it's fantastic. Off tracks will always be up for debate here, but I think it generates great racing. It's a technical track, actually very technical. Last week, doing the mini bop that I do, I almost forgotten how technical it is to put together a lap, so qualifying is going to be really important. But obviously, Championship's starting to get in now. We're starting to see some favourites, starting to see the points closing. I'm, really excited to see how this one goes. But yeah, last week was a blast.
Absolutely. It was really good fun. We had the 2-race format. Today it's back to the 1. But here's the calendar. And of course, we've already gone to Watkins Glen, Portimao, Daytona, Spa, Nürburgring 2 weeks ago. And then Imola. Hockenheim will be in 2 weeks' time. Road America will be in 4 weeks' time. I think round 9 will be in 6 weeks' time. And then it'll be in the late September that we end the season. It's a long championship, this one, and we've still got a long way to go in it to decide our champions. And of course, it is just the one race tonight, the 60-minute solo race. How do you think that would be in comparison to the 2-race format here at Imola? Because I feel like at Imola, tricky circuit to overtake. So had we had the reverse grid, it would have been very tricky for the top guys to get through, but instead it's going to be very important for the qualifying, I believe.
This format, they're going to have to count their off tracks, that's for sure. They can't, there's not enough for them to just utilise them to push. I mean, I like the mixture of the formats. I don't really have a favourite. I love the season having a good mixture. If I had to pick, I'll pick the heat because it's great to watch. But here, I'm not really sure about fuel saving, I think, but they're going to need to put a lot together. I say, very technical track. You can lose time or get too high on the off tracks, especially an hour here. It's going to really test the drivers.
Let's have a quick reminder of what happened last time out at Nürburgring. First up, the qualifying, where it stopped raining at the end of Pro-Am qualifying, and David Mola was able to take pole position ahead of Sergio Abayo. And just as Mola crossed the line here, it started to rain again, just as the pros went out on track. And of course, he led into turn 1, but it did not go well for him. He got taken up by Demoliner, David, in a very unfortunate incident.
This is one thing I love about the league that we don't see in officials is the open qualifying format, giving us this where we have the Am, Pro-Am and Pro, the variance in weather. I think that's fantastic. People might call it unfair, but it's fantastic. It's what we actually want. That's racing. Life's hard. Weather's hard. It's unpredictable.
And whilst it is unfair maybe between classes, you know, within your own class, you're all in the same boat.
Correct, yes. And it's tough out there.
That was a good move in the end for Van der Nesse to take the lead of race 1. He won race 1. This is the start of race 2, much cleaner. Eric Trosh with the 10-car reverse grid. This move from Sergio, apologies, from... it was Telman, apologies, who made
Lucas,
this
right?
move, and that actually gave him a penalty. And so whilst Telman was able to move up into the lead with this move on Trosh about halfway through the race and won the race comfortably in the end with a brilliant performance,
It was epic, yeah.
he did get a post-race penalty which docked him a few places in the end.
That's a shame. Yeah, to be honest, it might have been his pace that was the problem because if I remember rightly, that phase in the race, he was just so much quicker than most of the field.
He messed up his one and only representative, one and only damp lap in qualifying, so he qualified down 28th, made up I think 20 places or 23 places in race 1, and then made up a bunch more places. He was probably the fastest man on the day, but did not maximise the result. That means that he's a long way off the top 2 in the Pro Championship, and we have got a new leader in the Pro Championship. Anders Meyer led after the first 4 rounds of the championship, but Van der Nesse has outscored him in the last 3, and he now goes to the top, and he's got a big gap, or they've both got a big gap over Schelling, Ubithu, and the aforementioned Telman.
Yeah, Anders did suffer with the car. I mean, I've been preaching it all season, but
he was the best Mustang driver.
He was, but yeah, it must have been tough, really tough. I think he held his own though, and got the most on the day. It was a tough day. Obviously, Van den Esse has been really impressing. At the beginning of the season, he looked like one of the fast guys, but maybe not the championship contender. And that's not saying anything against his driving, just the way the results are falling. But lately, I mean, and if he gets out in first, he's going to win the race at the moment.
He's really tricky to beat once he gets out in the front. In the Pro-Am Championship, it was a great day for Sergio Abai. He managed to get a lot of points, and he's now a long way clear. The drop score will start taking effect after tonight's round, because after tonight we'll be over halfway through the season. So that will tighten it up a fair amount, but for now, Abai a decent way ahead. And in the Amateur Championship at the moment, we have got Artem Udod in the Mercedes, but driving very well. He's really been able to maximise that Mercedes strengths. It's not an all-rounder necessarily, but on the power circuits like Spa, he was very good. And of course, last time out, if you recall, David, running up in 3rd place for most of race 1. Unfortunately, had a spin right at the end. He could have been even further ahead than what he is.
99% was absolutely perfection. Yeah, I'm sure that haunts him, so I don't need to comment.
Absolutely. And of course, in the Teams Championship, we've got Maguire's team, Friday Sport. Never know if I'm actually saying that correct. Any word in that, apart from team and sport. But they are leading. Racing Lab Esports, powered by Ford, in 2nd place. But it's still very close. Everyone's in play. Nürburgring Esports were very strong last time out. So even they, you would not rule out in 5th position. A quick reminder of the VRS Summer Sale, of course, which is currently going on. You can get 30% off VRS products by going to apexracingsim.com. That includes the wheelbase and the wheel rim. Both wheel rims now offered by VRS, with the light and the Pro wheel as well. So do check them out over at apexracingsim.com if you want to get an upgrade on your sim racing hardware. Well, let's have a look at this track guide. One of the few circuits that I think I know all the corner names for, David.
Same as 1, 2, 3, coming round into the left of 4.
You know the first chicane though, don't you?
No.
Famous corner, Tamburello.
Tamburello, of course.
Do you know the second one?
No, there's no point quizzing me on turn names, mate. Okay, great.
Do you know any of them?
No. Oh, Acquamirale.
Okay, Acquamirale.
Yeah.
Lovely name. But that is, I think that's Tosa, is turn 7, right? Then Piratella, which is turn 8. They're just real nice names. If I was going to open an Italian restaurant, I'd name all the corners after
That sounds about right.
Names here. Then, of course, Acquamirale, probably the most demanding circuit of the track. Maybe one of the most demanding of the season, I think.
It's a really tricky corner. It's a corner I don't suffer with worrying about losing car control or making a mistake. It's just pace I struggle with it. It's the confidence to throw it in, maintain the mid-corner speed, and get on the throttle early. Any of those 3 are missing. Yeah, it is a tricky corner, though. It's brilliant in the wet. Oh,
yeah.
It's amazing. It's really scary.
Of course, there are Vatsas to round out the circuit. Alta a little bit before that, albeit apparently Alta's been renamed to Gresini, which I wasn't aware of. But yes, that's the circuit. No chicane, obviously, on the front straight. No one ever uses it. That's the bike circuit. We are using the proper Grand Prix circuit. So the drivers are currently going out on circuit for their qualifying laps. We'll go to a quick break, but then when we're back, we will be trackside covering the qualifying action.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, You owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and our coverage of the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy. That was an advert, of course, for VRS. And once again, do check out their summer sale over at apexracingsim.com, where you can get up to 30% on some of their products. But we are in qualifying at the moment. Of course, it's the AMs which go out first, followed by the Pro-Ams and then the Pros to finish off the session. And, well, at the moment, so far, David, it's a familiar story. Artem Udod, perhaps in a Mercedes which ought not to be super strong around this circuit. He's delivering at the moment. He's on provisional pole, and by a good margin.
So, I tested all the cars here this week, and the Merc wasn't bad, actually. It's very solid on the straights. Suspension's good enough to use all the curbs. So I was actually quite surprised. The BMW and Merc were fine here. For me, it was the Lambo, Ferrari, or same story as usual, but the Lambo and Ferrari that seemed to have the edge. But obviously, you cannot rule out the Audi and the Porsche, actually. If I was to race this week, I would have actually picked the Porsche. I think it's nimble, takes the curbs really well. Maybe not the fastest in a straight line, but as long as you focus on your exits at Imola, it is quite hard to overtake.
We have had a couple of drivers switch to the Audi mid-season. It does seem to be the one that is attracting most of the drivers.
It is so good in the wet. That Porsche and Audi, the Porsche is the easiest, the Audi's the fastest. I think that's the best way of talking about it in the rain. But yeah, it's a good car.
Welcome to everyone in chat, by the way. Matsy and Andrew and Simon as well.
Yeah, hey.
Actually asking who is our pick for today. Well, I think Anders Meyer is going to bounce back. I think after the run of 3 races that he's lost to Van der Nesse, I think he'll be more motivated than ever to take a race win, and I think that is what he's going to do today.
I feel like you're probably correct, but obviously Van der Nesse in the Porsche on stellar form. I think it's going to be a great battle, but we cannot. There's lots of names. Like, we're picking the championship too, but this hasn't been really about this so far this season. It's been a strong showing for quite a few of them.
Adam Hedgecock, who's had some pretty good qualifyings recently, as Adam has upped his form in that regard. He only needs a 10th of a second, and he will be up in 3rd position in the amateurs. This will be his penultimate lap. The drivers can complete the lap that they start before the 10 minutes begins. So if he's got enough fuel for it, he might be able to go one more. By the way, top 5 different cars at the moment. It's good to see.
Jono in chat, you always pick the Porsche, Sam. Seems like you're not a fan of front-ended. Correct. Yeah, for me, the BMW, the Merc, the Ford, they just don't suit me. I'm always quicker and more confident in the Porsche, Audi, Lambo, and Ferrari I can make work, but yeah. I wish I understood. I don't get the Beamer. I never have. I force myself at like Bathurst 12 or something. I spend hours prepping, but yeah.
Well, we'll be discussing later on in the late Apex about the new addition to the GT3 class, which is the McLaren. I'm sure everyone is aware of the 720S Evo version, I think. You excited about that one? Do you think you'll be jumping into that? Do you think you will meld or mold into that one?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a very me car. I've always enjoyed that car in ACC. That's my go-to car in ACC if I ever do that sim. Yeah, flame on.
Yep.
I think that works. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Another car to the roster. I mean, I think that puts IMSA at 14 cars now.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, very impressed. So Udod with quite a dominant pole, but he has been really proving himself to be quite the speed demon in AM.
Yeah. I don't think in qualifying he was too far up there overall. He has, been top 10 fastest on a few occasions so far this season. He qualified very high up last time out, actually, when it was in the wet. He did benefit slightly from the pros getting rained on near the end of the session. I think he qualified up in about P8 and then was up to P3 within the first few laps. Couldn't hold on to it. Schwab crossed the line. He goes to 7th. He'll hold on to that position, I think, unless Hendrik Zilk can improve. And at the moment, this is looking like a good lap for Zilk. 3 personal best sectors out of 4, and his first sector wasn't bad either.
So if we was never getting the McLaren, we can get the Aston now. That's how I see it. If we're breaking those barriers down.
It is true, because I think both have had a similar history in terms of, I think they were signed at a similar time, just over 10 years ago. Zilk moves up to 6th place. We've both had slim pickings, but both have had GT4s.
Yeah.
But both have been lacking GT3s. So, yeah, maybe you're right.
Maybe. Aaron Broderick out there. In the one car I didn't... Considering I used this car for Spa 24, I just didn't enjoy it here. I don't know if it was me just not getting used to the setup, but I don't know. Wasn't feeling the vet here this week.
Well, Matty's saying top 5 for Aaron, but I am not convinced that's going to happen. I think this will be an improvement, but I don't think he'll get him up any places.
I spoke to Aaron just before the race. Unfortunately, he hasn't had much sim time all week, so yeah.
You got him up 1 place.
It's very tough. This is such a technical track. Everything has to go right for your lap to be decent. You know, it's not like some tracks where there's 1 or 2 key corners and the rest that you can pretty much get through every time.
Sure.
I find this track, yeah, very technical.
Aaron in chat saying, I'm slow here. Well, I'm impressed, Aaron, because you said that incredibly quick after getting out of the car. So you're not necessarily quick on the circuit today, but very quick in chat at least. So the Pro-Am's now out on circuit. Mark Hutchinson, who hasn't quite been able to maximise the results recently, was your pick, I believe, for the Pro-Am Championship.
Who was, sorry?
Hutchinson.
Ah, yes, he was. Yeah, I think I've seen him in quite a few leagues now, and it's about time he got the support.
Currently sits in 6th place. Wasn't around, to be fair, last time at Nürburgring. So once the drop scores are considered, he should move up a few places.
Nice looking livery there from Bayer. Walk. Let's see. Lots of Porsches. It's a very brilliant mix. Top 4 cars, all different manufacturers. That's another thing we'll be talking about later on the late Apex manufacturer splitting. This is going to be a long talk. We need to try and segment time tonight. It's going to be a late one.
Need to ration it.
Yes. Right, let's see what Bio can do. This is the last lap from them. Is it 15 they get? I forget. 10. Oh no, of course this is the... Sorry, ignore me. This is the Pro-Am's coming up. Perry. Tim Perry? I don't recognise the name.
He's been around this season.
Oh.
I can tell you where he's finished. Tuipe has missed 2 rounds, but he was second last week.
Okay.
In Pro-Am. But no, to be fair, he does go under the radar, Tim, but very solid driver. Very solid driver, very experienced driver. I think he's been around before myself.
Before you?
Yeah.
Is that a form of measurement other people use? Before Sam?
Yeah.
Okay.
I keep on saying it's like the 23rd year, but no one quite is on board with that at the moment, unfortunately.
Okay.
Really want it to be based around myself, but.
Very close at the top though, 63,000 hundredths. Sorry. The math went out the window. Keep waiting for Agard. Was Agard demoted? It was Agard demoted from promoted. Which, sorry, one driver got a promotion or a demotion. I thought Agard, or am I thinking of the wrong championship?
No, Agard's always been Pro-Am. He was Am last season, but there was another driver who got promoted. It was your friend and mine, David Schilling.
Ah, okay. Sergio Bayo, P7. So UDOT again standing out at the moment. P2, we've had quite a lot of Pro-Am set their lap. And he's hanging in there at P2. Nicholas Agar, P4. On board with Daniel Ash. You a fan of this track? You spoke positively, so I assume you enjoyed this one?
As Ash moves up to P9. Yes, I do like it. Certainly to drive, I think it's a real nice one. If I'm just gonna like make laps somewhere, then this is top 5 for me.
Yeah.
Big fan of this. Montreal, I think is a great driver circuit.
How do you find the off-tracks here, though?
Long Beach
Are
is
you
fun.
in agreement with most people?
I haven't driven it enough recently, I think, to be fully knowledgeable about it. But I do remember it being that bad, and I used to drive it. But, you know.
It's gotten better. Like, if we stay on board, we can see hopefully how he takes the chicane. You can eat all of the inside of both sides, whereas before you had to be so precise.
It wasn't usually on the curb that I used to get one exit. It used to be on the exit, if I was going to get any.
There you go. Well, he could have definitely taken that more. But
and it's just a wheel on the red and white curb, right? That's all you need in order to avoid the 1x on the exit.
Correct. But even here on the inside there's a slowdown, and on the outside there's an off-track. So you just got to be very precise. And here you got to get off the green in time. But I'm calling it, we'll definitely see a drive-through today. Hell, I can get 11x in qualifying.
So UDOD doing incredibly well to stay up in second place, considering that he's an amateur driver. All the other amateurs have slipped down, which will give UDOD a huge advantage. Perry doing really well up there at the top in his Audi. Andrew fairly across the line, so to Daniel Ash, he was up to 5th. It's very close at the moment. Between the top 6, separated by under 2/10 of a second. No doubt we'll have several pros go faster than this, but these are still coveted grid positions that these guys are fighting for. Will probably turn out to be the positions around P10 on the grid.
Yes, indeed. Interesting to see what the pro times can be and how that battle for the top 2 starting positions here at this track is quite important. It is, you know, it's not a dangerous track. It's just when you come too wide into 1, 2, 3 here, it's just not easy. If any mistakes are made, if anyone's imprecise, or there's even the smallest contact, unfortunately, it can end quite badly. The further back you are in the grid, the more dangerous it is, that's for sure. I really enjoyed Porsche Cup here. Actually, a top 5 combo of mine. I really enjoyed it. Like, I found time in my week just so I could race it more. That's the best description I can give.
We've got Porsche Cup at Imola in the ARL GT3 Cup on Wednesday. If you want to jump in.
Oh, yes.
I'll let you in for free.
You let me in for free.
I'm kind of like
Does Lewis still drive, or was he hidden?
No, Lewis does not drive in that series. Vist moves up to P10. That was just up 1 position for Robin.
Half a second separating the top 11, though.
Yeah, it's good. Did see a lot of pros though at the front. It does seem like this is a track, or maybe not a track, but certainly a day where the classes seem quite separated, apart from Artem Udod, obviously, who is punching well above his weight in that second position at the moment. De Molina crosses the line, and he moves up to 2nd now. That's a fantastic time for him. I think Perry as well just improved to go a little bit further clear. This is an awesome qualifying for Tim Perry. I don't believe he's got a pole position so far this season, but it very much looks like he's going to do that tonight. Unless Nikolai Agard can do something about it. He's just starting a lap now, and considering that this man has been definitely the man to beat on a few occasions this season. I mean, Abayo has the championship lead, but Agard in 3rd place has won 2 of the 5 rounds so far this season.
Well, he got back just in time, but he perhaps had to scrub a little bit more speed than he wanted to. Do like this corner, more left you get. Oh, he's sacrificed a little, but he can still hook that up. Here we're definitely going to see a spinner. I'd unfortunately just unload off cam, but uphill. It's almost like the grip just goes away from you, and then we're always trying to get on the throttle early because it's uphill. This corner, I had to sort of almost relearn coming back to it after a while. You want to turn in a lot later than you realise.
Yeah,
Which A-guard? Oh, that's an off-track. That's over.
it doesn't really make much sense to me. Yeah, it's a strange corner. Doesn't feel quite right.
No, it doesn't. And what your brain tells you is correct can very much be wrong.
So here comes a bio championship leader. Not a qualifying that he would want at the moment. He has taken 1 pole position so far this season. He won't take it tonight though. P8 for him, only ahead of Fairley. Perry comes into the pits. He's not going to improve. Several others as well. So it looks like this is going to be a first pole position for Tim Perry then for the season. We've had a fair few different ones. Agard took the first 2. Then we had Vist take it in round 3. Abaye in round 4. Ola in round 5. Of course, that was the overall pole position in the wet. And now it's Perry in round 6.
Oh, they're scrambling for position out there. This is like F1 Monza.
Yeah.
It's the Italian tracks, man. They're all queuing up.
By the way, the pole positions in the pro category has been a little bit more dull. Maya took the first one, and then we had Ustund, who we haven't seen, unfortunately, since that pole position and win in round 2 of the championship. But the last
mega,
3 have all gone to Chris van der Nesse.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think Thingy wasn't there for one of them. Sorry, Thingy, as in Anders.
As you affectionately call him.
Yeah, Thingy. I think Anders was missing from one.
No, Anders has been at all of them.
Oh.
But yeah, he's there or thereabouts. Or his front 3 rows. That was a big send from Obithu, I think. Louis Villeneuve. Here's Anders Meyer, hoping that that Ford is more competitive. Did so well last time out at Nürburgring to get the points AD. I think he got a 5th and a 4th, which, considering that he was really probably the 15th fastest driver out on circuit, he really maximised it. Did not make a mistake all day.
Yeah, the Ford's looking good here, but he loves this car. Well, in the dry.
Of course, partnered our Racing Lab esports by Ford. I'm not exactly sure the arrangement is, but it's like Ford Norway they are associated with.
That's cool.
That's not helping him there, though. I think he's picked up a 1X, and
yeah,
well, he's got a fair few more attempts.
Yeah, I think he's just getting out of the way to abandon.
By the way, Simon in chat saying best tracks: Bathurst, Belle Isle, Road Atlanta, Road America, Aragon.
Yeah, he's trolling with Aragon.
Well, 3 of the 5 are fairly standard, but Belle Isle and Aragon are definitely left-field choices. Big fan of Belle Isle. Very demanding track.
I like Belle
Tailwind
Isle.
goes to the top. But Aragon, I cannot get on board with that, unfortunately.
I've always been partial to Interlagos.
Sure.
Reminds me of, yeah, like almost like Bathurst, but not on the mountain. Like you got two tracks.
Sure.
That's what I love about it. Other tracks am I absolutely tippity? Oh, Sebring. I like a bit of Sebring.
Well, you like Road Atlanta as well, don't you?
I love Road Atlanta, yeah. I'm good at it, so I can understand why you don't, because you're terrible at it, right?
Road Atlanta.
Yeah.
No, it's Sebring that I'm rubbish at.
Oh.
That's Road Atlanta. I'm not too bad, but Sebring.
I like Road Atlanta. I'm biased. I've been there. I've been around in a car. I've done Petit Le Mans. It's my favourite event. So yeah, I can't unsee that.
Sure.
I always say it's like a song from a movie. If a movie you love, you love the song. It's unquestionable. Yeah. So.
Tillman goes to the top. Well, he went to the top, as we said before, but he's held on to that top spot. Rosseth in 2nd, Schilling in 3rd. Van der Nesse with some work to do to make it 4 poles in a row, currently in 4th place. And of course, we don't know what Meyer's going to produce. But the fact that Rosseth is up there, usually, no disrespect to Rosseth, I think Meyer usually has about a 10th on Rosseth. So I think when Meyer does get a lap together, he should be right in amongst that front row.
Question in chat: how does an AM do a 0.5? It's a good question. Obviously, he is half a second off the pole time.
Yeah, Artsum Udod 2.3k or 2.4k.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive.
I mean, it certainly it is undervalued, but
Yeah.
he's just got a lot better this season. Really has improved.
Is he leading the championship?
He is.
Philip Ansel there, P6.
Oh, Randon Essay within 200s. Well, Seth got close as well. They went for 2 push laps there, and they should have 2 more push laps to complete the quali.
6,400 separating the top 3. I mean, Talman's on fire these last 2 weeks.
Schilling will get close to them, I think. Did he improve? Or maybe that was an up. I'm not sure. He stays 4th anyway. Yeah, I think it was an up because he's now doing a push lap. Maybe a bit out of sync with some of his rivals. Maya still yet to put in a lap time, but his first lap is looking good. Not pole. It's going to be, well, probably not pole, Will Maya, but I think Maya's probably going to go about P4 with his current effort. He's halfway around the lap. Lobet Delgado remaining in P18. Still top 19, top 20 separated by 8 tenths. That is fairly close.
It's nice to see all the classes a little bit mixed up here, like proving this is such a technical track. If you don't realise how technical this can be quite a slow track, unfortunately, because you really got to push those limits. I think that's why I bring up the off tracks here so often. Because to extract pace here, you need to use the full width of the track, like, well, and the rest of it. You need to be, like, even that's under driving. You need to be full out on that green curbing to carry the minimum speed required.
I did go P4, by the way.
You should be holding your breath here, staring up at the top of the screen, seeing if it pops up. Akma and Raleigh, you should have a floating sensation in your seat as you feel like you're going to die as you make the slowdown and get back on the throttle.
Of course, now at Piratella, they have a bit of gravel out there, don't they? They
Correct,
have one of those new sort of gravel pits to stop people track extending.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how many drivers know you can now take the chicane straight.
Yeah.
Like you can actually eat the whole thing.
Doesn't seem like a lot of them are using it, do they?
No, because we're so scarred from all the years of just tippity-toeing through it. But now, yeah, you don't even get a 1x for a full yeet bomb. Yeet bomb? Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's fine. So Delgado with 1 personal best sector on this lap. The rest of the sectors look fine, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be an improvement for him. Oh, there you go. I was wrong. 2 tenths faster. Improved in the last 2 sectors, and it must have been just in 1 sector out of 5. But yeah, that was enough.
It's very close, but the top 3 are flexing a little bit there.
Yeah, Maya only with the 1 attempt. I wonder if he was a bit shackled the first time after messing up his first lap. Had to make sure he got the second one in. Now he can really stretch his legs for this 3rd one to try to take his first pole since round 1 of the championship.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad car here. I'm not really a Ford fan, but a certain someone got me to add it to the. I was actually going to exclude it. I was going to not bop the Ford and Vet, but it got strongly voted in, and I was like, go on then. And I didn't mind it, to be honest. Still not my car, but it's definitely fast.
Good first sector, not a personal best for Maya, but it's definitely in the ballpark of where he needs to be. 20.7 first sector.
Yep, very ballpark. Awkward old corner because you desperately want to be on throttle.
Oh, Van den Essay goes to the top by 4 thousandths.
Wow.
Blimey. Well, Tellman's on a lap himself. I don't think it's going to be an improvement for Tellman. So Van den Essay looking good right now for a 4th consecutive pole. As Tellman has just crossed the line, he did not improve on his last attempt. Oh, actually, no, he's got 1 more attempt. They've all still got 1 more attempt. This is Maya's last attempt, though. Neo, great lap from the Spaniard. He moves up to P3 in the Mercedes.
This is looking good for Maya. We're still going to come down to this last sector, but it's looking good. As he doesn't eat the first curb. Shocketh. Let's see then.
Yeah, Maya, a little bit up in the first sector, a little bit down in the second sector. bit down, quite far down in the third sector. I think that third sector is going to let him down. I think he'll improve, but I think he'll stay P5.
Yeah, I think he lost a lot of momentum on that chicane, to be honest. I could be wrong. It's hard to see sometimes from the camera angles.
This is his last attempt. Second place in the championship. And he does improve and he does stay P5.
Lepanto out there, sitting P6. So all the pros now dominate the top 8 positions, and Artem Udod has fallen to 12th. What's he off the lead? Why can't I work it out? Almost 6/10.
Van der Ness is giving up on his last lap. It's all down to Telman.
Artem said, I've been grinding this track for like 20 hours in the past 2 weeks. Well, it's showing, Artem. Nice job. Very nice lap.
Telman may be giving a bit of a toe from his teammate ahead. A bit of a slide on the exit. This is not a great lap though from Telman. No personal best sectors in the first 4. So unless this gives him a huge advantage with this draft, he'll remain in P2.
Let's see if his teammate just pulls over. Oh no, Telman pulls out. Okay.
And he was a 10th.5 slower with that last attempt.
Very tight at the top. 6,900 separating the top 4.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it's having some internet issues.
Still improves to 17th. Delgado's just been going faster and faster and faster. Great pace for him as this session's gone on. This one isn't going to be an improvement. Not seeing anyone else post any improvements. Neo's still out there, but the timer ticks over. And that is qualifying complete. That was good fun. And Van der Ness 4 poles in a row, but it wasn't by a big margin.
It wasn't, but we mentioned it earlier. Yeah, he's a hard man to pass. His strategy's on point. He's consistent, so he's going to be very tough to beat.
Very, very tough to beat for this round of the championship. Well, Chris Van der Ness, he is on pole position. Once again, Lucas Telman joins him on the front row of the grid. He qualified, I think, P28 to Telman last time up. He's given himself a helping hand. Will still be frustrating. He was at the head of that qualifying for the vast majority of it. Danny Niu with a fantastic late effort to move up into 3rd. Then it's for Seth and Maya for Racing Lab Esports. Then it's Ansel, Schilling, Delgado, Vile, Perry in P10, top of the Pro-Ams. Then it's Glenn K-Back in 12th. You can see Michael do well up there, usually a single-seater driver. Then it's Demoliner, Udod, top of the AMs, Hutchinson, Hooper, Ubithu, Agard, Ash, Pleasure, Hort, Campus, who's new to the series, Abayo, Fairley, Vist, Carbonari, Engel, Fowler, Livingston, Simonson, Weston, all the ones there, Zilk, Hedgecock, Schwab, Walker, Hodgson, Broderick, Schlosser, Bilt, and Sander Danielson, who I think is also in his first ever race.
Some newcomers, that's always good to see.
Some newcomers, yep.
So if Philip Hanswell had a pipped Anders Meyer, it would have been top 5, all different manufacturers.
Yeah.
We're settled from 406.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Told you, I'd have picked Porsche. Porsche on pole. I think I'd have been swapped by Lambos, honestly, in officials, but I would have still picked the Porsche.
Sure. So this is the new formation, area. I can't remember this changing, but it has changed in the last few months, I feel like.
I don't
it used
remember.
to be, of course, on the run between Alta and Rivatsa.
Right.
But I much prefer this. It gives the field more time to get into order, especially
It's
in the
a
multi-class.
big grid.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be a messy turn 1 here. This is one of the narrowest turn 1s we have.
We've got 40 cars, or is it more?
Yeah, 40 on the dot. And they are all taking the start.
Hello, Thomas. Hope you're well.
Welcome to Friday Sport as well. Friday Sport, please let us know how you pronounce your team name. I assume it's Friday, but there's a 1 and a 3 in there, so I'm not 100% certain about it. But their man is on pole position, Chris Van der Ness. And this is, of course, where the dummy grid used to be. And they're already getting very bunched up.
Yeah, you got to fancy Nesse getting away nice and cleanly here, getting through T1 unscathed, and then, yeah, hopefully the rest can follow suit. God, why would P2 go ahead? Never go ahead of the leader, because then the leader just lifts a little bit, waits a second, waits for you to back up, and then you just lob it when he slows down.
It's a late green flag here, so expect them to be very slow for a while, but it is up to Van der Nesse when to go. He doesn't have to wait for the green, and now he does launch it, and it's a pretty even start. Covering off straight away there is Tellman. They were lucky not to get the glue.
Very
and
lucky.
Trying to break the draft is Van der Nesse heading into turn 1, but Nia will be frustrated with that. He will feel like he was blocked, and he's still
Slow the Porsches in a straight line.
to dump a bumper, as he will maybe look to the inside, just stays in that position. The Mustangs, the for racing esports, covering the entire circuit there. One of them is a little bit slow on the exit. That was Mayan, who remains in P5. Still, we've got Perry at the lead of the Prams, and still Udod at the lead of the Amps.
Can you believe that? So, obviously, Van der Nesse was the one deciding when to go green, but I tell you what, that he was just being, if the straight had been 20 metres long, he would have been dumped into third. Oh.
Good dive there from Ansel on Maya. Not sure if he'll get it done.
No, I don't think he'll have the speed up the hill, but looks like he might. Just need to brake late, cover it off, easy. Well, not easy, but
yeah. Passing now, Maya's got to cover off as well. David Schilling, not a good start to the race for Anders Meyer.
He'd be chuffed to get through. It's an hour.
And Delgado up 3 places, none of which were gained through Tamburello. He gained them all, I think, through Villeneuve and then Tosa.
So there will be a pit stop, obviously. It's an hour race.
Yep, 60% fuel capacity for the drivers, so it will be around, well, this circuit is fairly low fuel consumption, so they should be able to go as far as about 40 minutes. Sometimes it's closer to 35. But Van der Nesse leads the first lap, and in recent rounds, when he has led the first lap, he's generally been tricky to beat. Daytona, it was the case. Spa, it was the case. Nürburgring, he had to come from behind, but he managed to do it anyway. He will be a tough man to beat from here, but Tellman will try to stay in the draft, try to save the fuel. When we do come to those pit stops, he might be able to get ahead there. Speaking of getting ahead, that is Hutchinson narrowly getting ahead of De Molyneux, who was generous to back out of that corner, and Hutchinson moves up to P4, and that's second place in the primes. As Ansel has just got past Delgado, by the way, that's for P5.
Yeah, he's flying.
And here comes Maya.
Yeah, Maya, when it's done. Hard to defend around the outside there, because you also get the line to the next corner.
So Delgado, after gaining 3 places on lap 1, he's given up 2 of them again.
Udod up 2. Okay, we've got some replays coming in. So this is, yikes, man, they played with fire there. They would have taken out 60% of the grid.
I think that was overwhelmingly Tellman. Like he just so blocked that one. But I think he got away with it. But like it was his risk that he was playing.
Yes, for sure. Ooh, I cannot believe everyone got through fine. 40 cars. So this is Stephen. Oh, just getting a bit. Man, he just tried to stay out of it, but that's not the iRacing way. Full throttle. Unfortunately. Yeah, it looked like he was just trying to stay out of trouble's way there, but unfortunately new trouble found him. Yep.
Hutchinson up another place. Kaibak is losing places, unfortunately. Something's happened to him. Lost a couple of places, maybe just ran wide at Rivatsa 1, which Schwab is now going through himself, up 4 places. Nice start for him. No massive gainers. I mean, Simonson is up 6.
No, yeah. Ibutsu down 3.
As Maya's just got past Ansel, so Maya's back to where he started. He's done well there, Maya. I really thought that him being overtaken by those drivers early on, he might be stuck behind them for 10, 20 minutes. But actually, he's got past quick.
Wow, how?
That is messy. Such a slow up now for the drivers behind. Who's going to benefit from this? Some of these are carrying twice as much speed as they approach. Kaibak is continuing to lose places. He's lost 3 already. He's going to lose another one now to Hooper. This is almost like lap 1.
Agard was brave there, wasn't he? I mean, at the end of the day, he didn't make the corner. He went flying across the sausage curbs.
Kaibak doesn't really know which side to cover off. The 177 is completely boxing. That's Hooper. We'll just have to try to brake late. He's forced onto the grass.
Yeah, he's better off. He would have been better to give it up early. Now he's going to be swamped into Akamirale.
It's being passed by Ash now.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Stays ahead though of Demoliner. He's lost places himself, so bad news there for Hooper.
Oh, and I think 2 people went wide.
Was that Engel? Or Zilk, maybe?
I'm not sure.
Oh, everyone, I thought one driver spun off
I
there,
thought
but
one went left, one went right.
Oh, Hedgecock over the curb. That's alongside Zilk. Both these guys up 3 places from their race start. Hedgecock not happy, but as long as he hasn't got a slowdown, it shouldn't cost him too bad.
Let's see.
Off it is Ash. Oh, that's a shame for him.
Yeah, we'll see what happened. Maybe a side by side. It's close at the front. Van der Nesse leading by 4/10. Neo, I mean, they're all pretty much in a train. Recef, Maya, Ansel, Delgado, Schilling, Perry, and Vinglin. That's 5.6 seconds gap separating the top 10. And imagine we could see a live instant count. That's the race you want to win as well here.
Well, it's not something that the drivers can see either. I believe just because iRacing think that Bureau will take advantage of it. Someone else is close to the instant limit, give them a 4x. They're out of it and go through and win. Fairley getting past Hawks there. Or is that Hawk getting past Fairley? Well, Fairley's up 3 places from his race start so far. Hawks is only up 1, so it does indicate that Fairley has got the better pace right now. And he is moving past. He's not totally clear yet, but the outside line works pretty well through Akamirale. It's all about who can carry the more momentum into the corner, and that is definitely Andrew Fairley.
Yep. Yeah, he was in chat before. Good luck to him. You get extra support if you're in YouTube chat beforehand, talking to us and keeping us company. 100%.
I mean, if you're in YouTube chat and you have an orange livery, you're pretty much our favourite driver.
Correct. Okay, some more replays coming in. Oh, says a Bio and Fowler. I wondered what happened to Fowler.
Championship leader, remember Bio?
Yeah. Oof. What a weird.
Well, I think he hit the car ahead, right? And then I think that unsettled him.
This is what happened to Carbonari.
Yeah, you can't do anything about that.
No.
Nothing you can do about that.
Wrong place, wrong time. Oh. Yeah, that's a shame.
So the top 4 remain very, very close. Maya struggling to close the gap. He had lost that 2.8 seconds really all in the first couple of laps when he was overtaken, dropped as low as 7th place on the race start, did Maya. Ansel, to be fair to him, he's keeping tabs. Really, any one of these top... Well, I think you got to give Ansel a chance. So probably top 6, but I think most likely top 5. Can definitely still win this race, but Maya needs to try to close the gap and start saving fuel.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, I know Chris Van der Nesse knows how to fuel save, but I mean, Tauman's right on his towel. And let's see. This is going to be a pit stop race between those two. But looking at Van der Nesse's pace, he's very cautious about burning too much fuel. But a second separating the top 4. Yeah, there's nothing Rossef can do to even bring Maya into the race. It's too big a gap to fall back, pick up draft, and at the end of the day, it just brings Philippa along as well. So Rossef best to focus on himself right now.
Well, Maya was 4/10 faster on the previous lap. This lap, he's 2/10 faster, so he is bringing it down. So give it another 5 laps or so, and he should be getting a bit more of a draft from the cars ahead. Into the pits come their teammate, Simon Andre Livingston. Now, he will not get to the end of the race from here. You really need to be pitting at the earliest, probably 16, 17 minutes in order to get to the end, and even that would be heavy fuel saving.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure what caused that. Obviously, damage, I assume, can be the only reason. I just obviously thought 10 minutes more would cost him more than another pit stop.
Yeah, 9 seconds stationary, so maybe just topping up the fuel and taking his faster repair.
these off tracks. They are getting hit hard.
So Simonson, with his great start, up 6th place, is still 2nd place out of the AMS. Obviously, UDOD is top of the AMS, up then 12th place overall, only less than 7 seconds off the lead, in fact. But this is the battle for P3 in the AMS. UDOD, apologies, Western leading, Zilk, Hedgecock, Schwab, and then we've got the Pro-Ams of Walker and Campus. Hodgson is the next placed amateur, 32nd place overall, and Aaron Broderick, actually, Samsoid Simsport, catching up to the back.
Yes, go. As you can see from the graphic at the top, leading pro is Chris Van Den Esse, leading pro-am is Tim Perry, and am is Artem Udod. Familiar names at the moment, especially with, I mean, Tim's pace in qualifying was, and Udod's, they stood out. And then Van Den Esse managed to hold off the very small margin between the top bunch in pro.
He's very much been getting better and better as the season's gone on in the Pro-Ams. 54 points, 60 points, 75 points. Right now, if he could get this result, then he'd be bagging over 100, I think, for this result. So,
yeah, I don't know if Tom's a little bit damaged, but he just doesn't seem to have it. I don't think he's going to be able to fight this.
Yeah, I think he's going to let this one go. Two very similarly liveried cars, but they are not teammates. Yeah, not teammates, no. So that's Zilk up to 26th. Hedgecock is the next he needs to try to get past. Myers almost with these guys. Myers got very good pace. I was underrating Meyer early on. But he is going to be with these guys very, very soon. He managed to take another 4 tenths out of these guys. I think Van Den Esse is absolutely cruising it now. That's the lead.
Yeah, I think so. He's more worried about fuel than pace. I mean, Lucas is a very good driver. I mean, you don't accidentally get to 7.9k.
And if anything, I mean, even looking back to UDOS in 12th place, the top 12, there are no gaps larger than a second.
Yeah, the largest gap is the Meyer gap, right?
Well, now Meyer's closest gap is actually
it's
Meyer to Ansel. It's the biggest gap, but Delgado's just made a small mistake. But yeah, on the previous lap, maybe not on this lap, I think, as we might have a change for the lead, Tailman going on the outside of Van Den Esse. Can Van Den Esse hold on to it? No, he can't. Lucas Tailman, who had the race win denied from him due to a post-race penalty last week, leads now at Imola, and if Van Den Esse was cruising, he was cruising too much, and it's cost him the race lead.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't see it being a strategic call. I think he maybe just got caught over-saving. I'm not sure, or just the poor exit out in the last corner is undefendable in GT3s because of the extra speed you have under braking. So yeah, let's see if Christian Van Den Esse can hold on and save the fuel. He needs to be careful of that Neo car behind because you've now got the Merc Porsche situation. You've got pretty much the fastest and slowest in a straight line next to each other. Oh, no, yeah, no, sir, no. If you're not invited to the party, you don't attend. Right? that was late, and you weren't even alongside.
Philip Ansel's just made a mistake. I think Delgado may have made a mistake as well. He's lost out to Perry and Glenn. Ansel's just lost out to Schilling, despite being under very little pressure beforehand. So a couple of mistakes for our top drivers.
I was looking for them. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, he's lost out to Schilling.
There is Perry up into P8 now.
A 4.99 shirt. Can we get that verified? Is he A 4.99?
He is.
No, he's misleading. Is that a race pan?
Yeah, he's 3.15.
Not even close, mate.
Yeah, Tim, if you could change that profile picture when you're not 4.99. Like, when you are 4.99, go for it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's libel.
Okay, some replays coming in. So this is the Talman move on Esse. Yeah, I mean, definitely had more speed. It's hard to see what fuel saving situation is. No. I mean, he wasn't fighting that very hard. So
No,
Philip,
classic.
I know that feeling.
We've all done it.
Yeah,
All done it.
he did it. He handled that perfectly. He saw it was coming, and he just, didn't open the wheel. Very well handled.
So we've had NSA stayed in touch with Chelman, to say the least. So that might not be a very significant move. And if anything, it might benefit NSA.
It's
can now be towed along.
Yeah, for sure. It's just a very technical track. One mistake, and this, if it was his plan, doesn't work. So,
Sure.
Yeah. Like we saw with Antoine, it's very easy here for something just to go wrong a little bit.
Oh, look at that lift. That was so early.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lifting off the throttle through the kink. He could go another
Oh, look at the gaps,
30
mate.
meters.
It's 4.1 second in the top 10 now.
Yeah.
The leaders are not going anywhere. They know this is one in fuel.
Well, yeah, the last lap, 43.9. They're 1 second slower than
Yeah.
what they were in the early stages.
It's becoming like F1. I can't keep talking about it now. They're doing it.
Well, they're going even slower now. 1.3 seconds slower than their best lap times. So Agard was 1.5 seconds faster
And
than
all
that
these-
last lap. Schilling 1.6 seconds faster. He's now 2.2 off the lead.
Yeah.
I
That-
mean, I don't think I've ever seen a race
5
to this extent.
seconds separating the top 12.
Yeah. Mark Hutchinson can get a move. I mean, Hutchinson, is 1.5 seconds lap faster than these guys. So, like, he's 7 seconds behind now, but you can see on the timing board, I mean, he's making up time pretty much every corner.
Yeah, Phillips basically recovered his mistake because Schilling's now on the pack and he's reconnected. Technically, he's closer to the lead than he was before,
Yeah.
which is madness.
I mean, it gets to the point where someone's going to have to do an undercut. I mean, someone's going to have to, bite the bullet and
Yeah, but
get out of this.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of negatives, and I know that they might just start
Yeah.
going fast once you do that, but
Well, remember, it doesn't. You don't get it free. If you are going to undercut, you still need to also fuel save what they're saving while they're saving it. Like if you pit
But
and
it's-
put in enough fuel to be fast, your pit stop costs you such a deficit.
Oh, but they're losing a second and a half. I mean, if
True.
you can take 4 seconds of fuel, and within
Yeah, for
3
sure.
laps, you've made it up. So the top 12 now separated by 3.5 seconds. There is the time comparison. Tillman was in the 43s, and he's now lapping 2 seconds slower than what he was earlier on. We'll see what this time is. 45.
Look at that train, as Alan said, choo-choo train.
This time it's a 45.7. They're nearly 3 seconds slower than what they were earlier on. And so these guys near the back have just got to start making moves. I mean, if you're Delgado, if you're Vile, you got to start making moves up this snake.
Correct. I mean, fuel. I always go about fuel, but it's not worth this. Yeah, some shuffling around at the back.
Hutchinson 2 seconds faster. He's now 5 seconds behind. And unless he's looking to the inside, oh, there goes a move. And Toast's probably maybe the best chance. And he's gone for that one, has been Glenn. He's got past Tim Perry. They're making a bit of door-to-door contact. I think Delgado and Veal were pretty close behind as well.
There's no point fighting that outside line. Oh,
he's
some
made it
nasty
that
contact.
time. And into the wall. Well, I don't know how big a hit to the wall it was for Perry. He's still leader of the Pro-Ams, but not for long because here comes Hutchinson.
That ain't going to keep his 4.99. Sorry.
And these two are teammates, so
Yeah.
they leave each other a lot of room.
He's missing a bonnet. Wait, is that a black? Oh, no, it's just the black portion of the livery. Okay.
So Perry does stay in the lead, but that could have been a lot worse for him if he has got damage, and he can pit and get to the end of the race. I mean, the pit window is pretty much opening now, so even this is early, though, for fuel. I think you want to be getting a couple, maybe 1 lap further before you're pitting. Otherwise, you will be needing to fuel save. Simonson, big show for Simonson. He was running up in P3 out of the AMs. He's had an off.
This is quite the train. Yeah, the lap times just keep getting slower.
I mean, Hutchinson had all that mess having to hold behind his teammate there. He still matched the leaders. That last lap, he had to slam on the brakes to avoid
Finn
his teammate.
is in.
Finn Forts, yep. where was Finn? He was about P20, I think. Or
Yeah,
pit
like-
stops.
To sum it up, Yannick Pletcher in 15th is running 2.6 seconds a lap quicker than the lead.
They keep getting slower. They're into the 46s now. At the start of the race, Tillman was doing 42s.
Yeah, I agree.
Standard
Fuel
46s.
isn't worth this unless the only way fuel would be worth this pace is if you're avoiding the stop. That's it, period. There's no...
Oh, well, and no one's going to do that.
No.
But of course, if you've got track position, it makes, you know, you may as well do it. Like no one's losing out. If they were all doing 43s, it would make no difference to what the race is, I guess. David has just subscribed to Apex Racing TV. Thank you, David.
It's a great name. Very strong leader type name.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leader. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I get from it.
So P39, you can see how Ross Fowler is chasing down the leaders.
It's ridiculous. If I was Neo in that Merc, I'd send them
I mean, how has he not
and
gone
blow
for it
by
yet?
it. Yeah,
I can understand Van der Nesse not wanting to lead.
if I'm Neo in that Merc, that's it. I'm dropping the hammer. I'm sending them both in T1, and I'm gone, mate. I'm checking out.
So pit window is definitely open now, but no one's going to go for it. Top 17 are now in a train. The 18th place driver is Nikolai Agard, and he's more than capable of getting onto the back of this. Oh, here
Oh,
he comes.
he's
And
listening.
it's a double overtake. It's a double overtake for Danny Neal. Well, you don't see that a whole lot.
But at least he's listening.
he's gone ahead, and now will this be them changing from second gear into third gear and starting to get some proper lap times down?
He's listening. Just go, mate. But yeah, if he can build a 2-second gap, 2.5-second gap, then that's it. Fuel-wise, he'd be on point.
Deville asking in chat, pretty nicely spread field of cars. Do you have to keep one for the season? You do, yep. You pick one for round one, and you have to stick with that car for the whole season.
I'm a Danny Neo fan, by the way, now.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What a move.
enough with this nonsense. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll get. I mean, I love that whilst it lasted. I mean, he's putting his foot down now, isn't he? I mean, you can't hear him fuel save. So this top 17 cars will start to spread out again.
Yeah, because as much as anyone listening might be thinking, well, Talman will just react and push to stay with Neo. But then Talman's going to have to then worry in reflection with Van der Nesse. Okay, if Van der Nesse doesn't floor it and he saves, then I might beat Neo, but I'll lose to Van der Nesse. Like, Talman's not in an easy situation, and that Merc with the straight line speed is, you know, if you can put it out in the lead and break that draft, then the draft's going to stay broken.
Well, on the last lap, they actually went a little bit faster. They got into the mid 45s.
Yeah,
I reckon this is going to be a low 43.
I think Talman's tempted to push, but it looks like Van der Nesse is going to stick with his fuel-saving plan.
So 42.8 there for Neo, so he's just gone 3 seconds faster than what they had been doing previous. K-Pack still looking for a move. This is on Hutchinson.
I love that. He sent both 1 and 2 into 1.
Maybe that's what he was waiting for. Maybe that was like, okay, I need them to be close so I can get them both in one go. Because, I mean, he's now 8 tenths clear.
Yeah. No, I think someone's watching the stream and they're voicing
Well,
Neo. He's like,
sure,
you know, David,
yeah,
that pleb, he said just send them both, mate, and run. Might as well try it. But no, let's see. This might benefit Van der Nesse out of anyone. Let's see. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. It really depends if the whole field reacts. There's some more replays coming in. Yeah, this was the horrible contact. I don't know. Let Stewards look at that one.
So this is on board, Perry. Has to get back on the circuit. One could argue maybe he was a bit
I am not sure.
sharp on his rejoin. Maybe he could have re-entered the circuit a bit later.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's hard to tell. They're both turning. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Fortunately, it didn't really seem to pick up too much damage.
What on the teammates side by side?
Pleasure, I think we may have just been seeing a spin on live pictures in the bottom right.
And look at this. Bosh. Easy. He actually even retakes the racing line. But unfortunately for him, Talman, Nesse, Youssef, Maya, Schilling, Ansel, Vin, De Galdo have picked up the pace also.
But they're not right on his tail. Like they are
No.
going a little bit slower. So he might, a few more laps, and he might be able to get clear. Not getting clear at the moment is Pleasure. He had a spin at Outer a few moments ago, which we saw. And now Vist is trying to... Apologies, Ash is trying to make him pay for it after a mistake of his own earlier on in the race. Daniel Ash, and he moves now up into P20.
Yeah, let's see. It's going to be an interesting race, especially the pit stop phase. It's going to be very interesting.
Have you ever been involved in a race in an official series where the pace has been that slow? Or any race for that matter? I mean, 3 seconds off the pace. Have you ever seen that before? Because I've certainly never seen
apart
that.
from on skill alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there certainly are some tracks where you're all about the fuel saving. Yeah, it's a shame, but it's the nature of the beast in like really competitive splits. I've learnt my lesson trying the one lap pace idea, and missing out. I don't know about 3 seconds. It's hard, right? It's really hard to judge when you're in the thick of it, to know your own car's pace and your tyre degradation and how the track's feeling. It's tough, yeah. But yeah, I have.
So he's still leader of the amateurs. So leader of the amateurs is now ahead of the leader of the pro-ams. Udod, leader of the amateurs. Then it's Perry, leader of the pro-ams, who's managed to clear Hutchinson. Into the pits comes Bethu. I think he may have been getting into a bit of traffic, so he's come in to the pits quite early. 34 minutes to go. They should be able to go as far as about 40 minutes with the fuel saving that they were doing earlier on. I mean, maybe we'll even be getting to 43, 44 minutes before they have to pit.
Pace has significantly picked up across the track though.
Yeah, they're all in the 42s. And they were all in the 46s. Dominic Engel, not having a good time with it. He was trying to get past Camphius, but could not do so. Oh no. Well, it was only a matter of time till something like that happened, because that corner very much invites that type of contact. Carbonari for ADX Motorsport, the victim on that occasion. We have, just for 2 retirements by the way, Tom Weston, seemingly retired a couple of laps ago.
Who just came into chat.
Ah.
At the same time. No, it was after you started.
oh, yeah, oh, okay, sure. And Patrick Wiltz.
Tom West in chat saying, not my night tonight, took heavy damage at the start, and then I had to pit too early, and then had 2 cars check up in front of me, plus my driving so bad, just not my night. Great podcast there. It's a shame, Tom. On to the next one.
Yeah, at least you can watch us now.
That's your plus, watching us. Philip Answell diving in.
Positive mindset. Ansel, yep, in. And Perry as well. Just that Perry would come into the pits. I thought he was quite comfortable there, but maybe he felt like he was being held up.
And Molyneux in, and Sander is in.
And of course, the slow pace earlier on for the top guys will mean that, well, I don't know. Will it mean that they'll come out into more traffic or less traffic? Will it mean that they didn't clear a lot of the back markers and therefore they'll come in amongst them? Or will it be that they were so slow that they never even got close to clearing? We'll find out quite soon. 20 seconds, so yeah, they're in a bit of traffic, but it's not super crowded. I think if anything, the slow pace has reduced the traffic that they'll get with the undercut, because they'll come out really only behind the stragglers at the back of the field.
There you go. Let's see. They've got fuel to the end. Obviously, they know the fuel number they need to hit, so now it's just executing that till the end and seeing where they come out, where it all filters through. Obviously, the early pit stop, well, the earlier pit stop forces the front runners into a minimum pace now, because they know the undercut is a possibility. Because Philip wasn't too far away. But let's see. Neo not quite able to break that gap.
Yeah, top 3 with a slight breakaway from Eric Grisseth in P4. Doesn't quite seem like the Racing Lab esports drivers have the pace tonight.
Maybe just sticking to their target that they worked out for the strat. And, you know, the front runners have been slow and fast, and Yeah, keeping your pace might be the answer as Schilling comes in.
Schilling and Veal, not quite sure. A-guard as well.
Because whatever target Talman was trying to hit, he ain't hitting now. Like, nowhere near, not even in the same universe, fuel-wise. Some more replays coming in. This is
Pleasure.
yeah.
Oh. Was that with knee? No, it wouldn't have been knee, would it?
This is Carbonari and Aaron. Yikes. Let's see.
So Aaron always drops out initially because there's contact there, falls a bit behind. I mean, it's a bit of netcode as well. Obviously, it's glue. Don't know. Stewards can decide.
Yeah. Artemuda running P8 as an amateur, looking very good. Obviously, his position's boosted by a few pit stops, but still looking very strong. Neo doesn't need a lot now to get that gap starting to break away. Now they're starting to eat the curb.
Yeah. Okay, back by the way in his first race of the season. I was a bit confused earlier on. He has done a lot of F3 racing in the past. Michael K. back won many races, not a championship, I believe. Maybe a Pro-Am championship, maybe for Kaiback. Yeah, we don't usually see him in the GTs, but yeah, this is his first round of the season.
So I suppose ARL F3, which I remember from years ago, is done now, right? Because of SFL?
Pretty much, yeah. It's unless the car has a bit more support.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I
F4
understand.
recently, and yeah, now the Super Formula Lights.
You did what iRacing couldn't.
What, ditch it?
Just admit that it's the replacement.
I don't think that F3 car isn't used in real life at all now, is it? Like, I don't think it's a sense.
Yeah, that's always a risky move.
Down well there has Simonson, although he comes into the pits anyway.
Yeah, because these two have pitted, so I think he just
yeah.
didn't want any of that. Like, these two are fighting. While he can fight them, it's not a blue flag. He doesn't want to be involved in this fight.
It's like Ansel's going to get ahead. I thought Ansel was ahead of Schilling before the pit stops. I might be wrong on that one because he did have a short pit stop, did Ansel, but he's got ahead anyway, right there. And this could be the battle for like P5, P6, I think, when all the pit stops are sorted.
Yeah, I think the position behind Maya, they're fighting over.
Campius in his debut comes up the pits.
Question in chat, do you have to keep one car for the whole season? Yeah, I think there is a penalty to change, but...
Yeah, 50 points. A race win is about 130 points. So it's not debilitating.
Plus the rule's clear from the start.
Yep. Here goes Campius. And you can only use 2 cars across the season. So you can't just take a 50-point penalty every single race. Just pick the best car each race.
I assume that rule's just so the admin guy doesn't have to work out all the points all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have that as well.
So we're Seth in, and before his teammate. These pit stops fairly long, to be fair. 19, 20 seconds. 22 seconds is what you need to take 2 tyres, but if it means losing track position, it's definitely not worth it.
Let's see what Seth can do. 18.7, yeah, he's a good benchmark for fuel numbers, pit stop wise.
I saw, yeah, of course, 18 is, yeah, like 12 seconds is 2 tyres. It's 23, 24, that's 4 tyres.
Correct.
I was taking 4, I think. It's a bit of traffic for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not what he wanted behind Jason Hodgson. Not a whole lot of traffic out there for these guys, but he's found some.
Yes, this is definitely going to hurt. And obviously, let's remind chat and viewers, everything, that obviously they have to overtake these positions. It's not a blue flag situation. You are net behind them. Yes, you've served a pit stop, but that does not give you the right to get a free pass. It's your own fault for coming out behind people.
He's well ahead of Ansel and Schilling. I think Glenn's going to be ahead of Ansel and Schilling. I think he might jump them. Glenn, I think he was behind before, but I think he'll clear them.
Oh, is that Van der Nesse in?
Yes.
Right.
Well, I like the aggressiveness. Oh, it wasn't. It was Glenn. It was a back marker.
Oh, it
Glenn
looked
came
like
in
his
behind.
livery. It looked like a yellowy, dark Porsche.
Yeah, was it one of the Maguires? It was Hort for his second pit stop, I think.
Vin. I mean, it doesn't make sense. A, traffic. B, you don't get any of the low fuel running, a bit more pace.
Well, I guess if Glenn pits now, he will come out ahead of Ansel and Schilling. So rather than leaving it later and
True.
maybe losing it, I think he just wants to cover it off.
True.
If he is ahead, I mean, I'm assuming that. I think he's done enough. Seth did get past one of the back markers.
The other pitted. So Vin will definitely be behind Recef, we think, though.
Yeah, definitely behind Seth. It will just be a close one between him and Ansel and Schilling. Here they come.
Oh, it is close. I think you come out ahead, but I don't think I have the momentum. Yeah.
Oh, he is behind. He is just behind. So no, you shouldn't have pitted early. You were right, David. Why did he come in so early? You need to stay out for another 3 laps, and he may have been on to jump him.
Let's see the. No, his pit stop time was off as well.
Ah.
Yeah, 20. It's a 20.4. It's fine, but fine doesn't cut it when you're racing these boys.
Yeah, if it'd been 1.5 seconds short, so would he have?
Yeah, it would have been close, but I think he could have covered it off. Yeah.
These guys have already pitted. Isle versus Hutchinson. Isle ahead. I think that's him keeping that place.
Is Vile the same teammate as Talman?
Yeah, Delatras.
Oh, okay. Delatras, right. So Talman's Delatras. Ah, okay. Well, I don't know why it's taking me to this round to work it out. There we go.
Oh, Neo and Bandanese in.
Yeah, I've taken too long to realise that.
So Tillman, I thought it was low fuel consumption there, but maybe it's higher fuel consumption. Because they're not going very far. Like, 36 minutes is not far, really.
I'm never sure
Considering
with the
the fuel
limited
that
fuel,
they've taken. And these are quite long pit stops. Sometimes we see 14, 15-second pit stops. Not today, 18, 19.
Okay, let's see Van der Nesse's fuel number.
Might be close between Maya and
Yeah, it's a good one by
Seth.
Neo. 18.9, but Van der Nesse 18.1.
Didn't get ahead though, did Van der Nesse. Was not close enough on pit entry. But I think this is opportunity Tillman. I feel like Tillman's got a very good chance at taking the lead now. Maya has jumped Rosseth.
Robin West in. Oh, yeah. Maya with well,
I think it's mainly the traffic.
plus the fastest pit stop on the track by a good margin. I mean, apart from Danese, 2/10, but over someone like Neo, it's a 1 point. Yeah, it's I lost my train of thought there. 1.5 seconds. It's a mega pit stop.
So really important sectors now. Tillman was 400 slower through sector 2. No, he was 4 thousandths faster through sector 2. Sorry, Tillman. Massive in lap now for Tillman. Assuming that he does come in on this lap, which, considering that everyone else has pitted, one would assume he will pit. And here he comes.
This pit is critical. Stop in the Red Bull box.
If he can get a low 28, I think a low 18, then I think he should be. He should get. I reckon an 18.2 will probably be the cutoff.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna. He can't take half a litre in this car, can it? It's LMP2.
It wasn't a very good 4th sector for Tillman. He actually lost 2/10 on his in-lap in the 4th sector. I think he made a mistake the outer. That might be decisive. Oh, 17.1. I think that's going to do it. I think he should be ahead. Super short pit stop, by far the shortest we've seen. And he is definitely ahead. Lucas Tillman, for the 2nd time, takes the lead of this race. And it was by 1.0 seconds, and his pit stop was 1.6 seconds faster. So it's easy to see how he did it. It was on fantastic fuel saving.
Yeah, let's see how much he's left to do fuel saving wise for himself. He might have given himself a little bit more on the plate than Neo and Nesse and Maya and that a lot, because that's a fast pit stop. I mean, that's 8/10 quicker than Anders Maya, and we know Anders is always fuel saving.
But I guess Neo was punching a hole in the air for like 20 minutes there.
Yeah.
That probably didn't help him. Van der Nesse was punching a hole in the air for the first 20 minutes. Whilst Tillman was never Well, no, to be fair, Tillman was in the lead, wasn't he, for a bit, but that was when they were in the 46s. That was when they were going the absolute slowest, so...
What happened to Rennsport? Why is he 3.5 seconds off his teammate? He was ahead.
he-
Rennsport was ahead before the pit stop, right?
He just made a mistake on that last lap, I think.
Okay, so he was already... He was
He-
close, but then just made a mistake.
Yeah, I think it was about 1 second behind Meyer the last time we saw them. But yeah, he must have made a mistake on that last lap. So Van Nesse pole sitter. He's going to win this race. He's got to get past Neo now and hope that Tillman's under field of it.
Yeah, not easy to pass a Mercedes in a Porsche, unfortunately. Need fan boost.
Well, I don't know if Anders Meyer could be maybe his fan and give him a bump on the straights. I think that's maybe his best chance. But he's very close here. He's a 10th.5 back, so he's not really going to get a much better chance than this Van Nesse. But even in the draft, he's barely gaining anything. So he's going to have to send it if he is going to go ahead. And Chris isn't exactly the most aggressive driver. And he has got a championship to consider as well. Would be extending his championship lead if it ended this way.
Correct.
So,
Just needs to be ahead of Rennsport, right?
Meyer.
Sorry, yeah.
I think it's probably, considering the strength of that Porsche, probably Tosa his best chance. But this time he's not close enough, certainly. And Meyer, once again, not necessarily looking like the fastest guy out there. Certainly was an underwhelming qualifying for him, but pretty much maximising the result, as he so often does.
And Lucas is feeling confident. He's pushing. His lap times, his pace is looking very quick at the moment. So, I was expecting maybe to have to save a little and get caught up by this pack, and then Neo could maybe use the power of the... But no, it's looking mighty fast at the moment. Finn Glenn doing a good race, up 3 positions, P8 behind the Shilly and Ansel battle, which can still play out. So, he's still in the fight.
Jonas Simonson, by the way, has just come into the pits again, so he was running P3 out of the amateurs, but very much today has gone negative for him since then.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because that was a full pit stop again. Not sure what happened. That's what I see it as a 22-second pit stop. I don't know what on earth that could be for.
Maybe it was his first pit stop. I swear he's come into the pits already, Simonson. Not sure. But yeah. Meyer close to the back of Van Nesse, but he won't be able to...
No, he has pitted the once. He has only pitted once.
Yeah, he must have been the last driver to pit. He went very long in that first time. By the way, shout out to one of our sponsors, Apex Racing Academy. And of course, if you want to get setups, telemetry, track guides and coaching in these GT3 cars, as well as the Porsche Cup cars and the F4 cars and the Super Formula Lights. Oh, there's a move. There is a move from Van Nesse. This is a big one. Said it might be at Tosa that he would go for it. It's often one where it invites a dive bomb, but he could not get past. And every time he tries a move like that, it will cost them against Tillman and leave them vulnerable against Meyer. But at least Van Nesse's up for that move. But Neo, I'm sure, will be watching up for that. But yeah, of course, Apex Racing Academy. Do check out apexracingac.com. Get yourself a bronze, silver, or gold subscription. And you can get faster on iRacing. Robin Vist off the circuits.
Yeah, we'll see what happened, but I'm assuming a sausage was involved. That's my bet. Lucas Tillman looking good. 1.3 seconds ahead.
Considering that Neo had to go offline at Tosa, I'm surprised that... Oh, there's another move. What a dive from Van Nesse. Meyer realised that the circuit's not wide enough to make it 3 wide, but I think Van Nesse might be past. He is past. And here comes Meyer as well. He's straight through. What a move there from Meyer. And if Meyer can really get a good run across the start-finish line, he might even have a shot at Van Nesse here, because the gap is just 0.2 of a second. And as Meyer going from 4th position, all of a sudden, he might think that there's a small chance at a race win. He goes to the outside. Will he launch it on the inside? The inside was never open from Van Nesse. He knows to cover off that one. If he can survive this initial onslaught, I think he should have the pace to cover off the Mustang driver.
It's a big
but
Ford,
here comes Meyer on the inside. That will not do him too good through there, but maybe it will. He's so tight, has to carry such small speed, but he's now using all the track.
What a battle.
And Anders Meyer does get past, and it might be even worse for Van der Nesse, because back comes Danny Neo, who might retake the position that started this whole process off. And so far, we've seen the inside at Piratella be absolutely decisive in these overtakes. And it is, once again, what a disastrous couple of corners that was for Van der Nesse. I don't think he necessarily did too wrong. But Maya is somehow up into second place. I think if it ended like this, Maya would retake the lead in the championship.
Yeah, very good move from Van der Nesse to get it done on Neo, and then obviously good stuff by Maya to control it and get through on Neo. But then, yeah, like you said, Maya had the run. It was very opportunistic, but I mean, he did it. And that left Van der Nesse completely exposed to Neo. We've got a great battle going. And is Maya proving why he is a championship contender?
Yeah. So 3.5 seconds now.
What a battle, though. Let's just add that in. I already said it once, but that was great.
Well, I think it was last season that Maya came from quite far behind to win at... Oh, not that far behind, actually, but I think it was at Mugello where I think he managed to pass Van der Nesse in the closing stages. He'll be trying to do a similar thing on Italian soil once again, as Van der Nesse is all over the curb. And he's got to be aggressive, he's got to try to make these moves, does Van der Nesse, but he's not pulling them off at the moment, and this is turning into a very frustrating race for him. And if he tries another one, then he might even be overtaken by Russell.
Crazy times. Top 4, all different manufacturers. What a good bot, Brett.
Did you read, as of course, we'll be discussing iRacing's new plan to, in their words, discourage myths about, okay, these aren't exactly their words, but there's their sentiment that in iRacing special events, rumours are spread about how one car is more OP than another car. And what they want to do, iRacing, is change it so that there's more balance of manufacturers, because...
Splits won't just be on iRating.
Exactly,
basically.
yeah. But
it'll be on iRating and your manufacturer car choice. So you might find yourself being bumped down to Split 2 if you're joining an all-Ferrari race.
Yeah. But their reasoning for that is because I think what they say basically is there's some misconceptions that one car might be more OP than other. However, of course, our bot is very accurate and very well trained. Completely ignorant to the fact that there are OP cars. But we'll be discussing that more on the late Apex, coming up at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Along with all the other updates in the iRacing development patch.
Okay, here's a replay of what happened to the Van der Nesse move on, was this Neo originally? Yeah.
Yeah, great initial move.
Oh, fantastic. Caught Neo sleeping. And Anders there finding a gap through. And look at this. Oof, wasn't as clean as it looked from TV cam.
I think he left enough space on the outside. And then I'm just amazed he managed to pull off this one. I think if anything, could Chris have carried more speed there? He almost got very tight himself. But usually the inside line into run over is awful, and you just swoop around the outside.
Exactly,
there.
yeah.
But he wasn't able to do that, Van der Nesse.
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't trust the other driver, but he would have been out of the race had the Ford gone deep. So sure. I think he was just thinking long, playing it smart. But it's not over. So this is Chris's attempt on Neo.
Wow, so that could have been a lot worse. So he's well alongside before the corner. I think...
I don't know if the FIA would agree with you on that one. It might have been a little bit under braking. No, I'm a Chris fan, but that was late. Fully alongside.
Well, sorry. So did I say braking before braking? I meant before turning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, obviously he made up the time on the brakes. Yeah. He didn't all of a sudden just have so much speed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, we're in 100% agreement then.
Yeah. But I think that was fair tease. He might do it again here. Yeah, Neo's lifting. Oh, he didn't commit to it.
So he is having to fuel save.
Yeah.
But this is... Maya's gone, right? Yeah, Maya's gone.
1.3
Maya's
seconds.
gone.
Don't think Meyer's going to catch Tillman. 3 seconds between the top two, and Tillman was faster on that last lap. They're not as fast as what they were earlier on, but that could be down to track conditions, and obviously their tyres are aging as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle. Problem is Neo has to lift, and Chris knows he does. So when he picks a side, just like, I'm picking the other one, and I'm going to brake where I'm meant to brake. So yeah, this is going to get interesting fast.
Well, Seth hasn't quite caught up to them, guys. Thomas Hansen saying in chat how 100% chance that Maya and Seth are in Discord together by telling Seth how to overtake Van der Nesse.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. It may have worked the first time. I'm not sure if it will necessarily work the second time. But he will catch by the end of this race, will Seth. Might not have too many opportunities to pass, though, once he gets there.
What a result from him. That's going to turn the championship around, isn't it? Because Van der Ness is in the lead, right? Maya P2.
Yeah. It will probably mean that Maya will lead the championship. Albeit the drop score will start to be considered after this round, so I'm not entirely sure what that will do. Whoever's got the worst round so far will benefit most, and that is Anders Maya, actually. So Maya will be probably about 25 points clear going into the final 4 rounds, which is more than catchable.
Here we go. Round 6, fight.
Well, he's well alongside this time.
Oh,
Cannot get past, but Neo's a little bit slow in the middle part.
Yeah, he's
wasn't able to quite completely clear Van der Nesse mid-corner, and Van der Nesse finally gets past and up into P3, and he's not going to let that one go now. It'll be a boring end to the race for him. He'll be frustrated he's going to lose points, but that's an important position.
Yeah, and it's been hurting his saving as well, so he's now going to have the same issue with Racef. So it might have been the strat to pull behind Van der Nesse, do the saving he needs to do, you know, try and double down on it, and then bring himself into the fight, you know, in the last 2 laps or something. Or at least keep Racef behind. I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's really tough when you're behind in the chair, also having to do the driving. Go on, Aaron.
Frederick will get a good result out of this one. That's actually for P2 in the amateurs. Zilk. Up 12 places now from the start, Frederick.
It's delivery.
Oh, for sure. He is actually our joint highest gainer so far, 12 places for him. Other man to gain 12 places, Ryan Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Altitude Esports Blue. Don't know what happened to Ryan in qualifying, but I think he had a particularly good time, but either at Nürburgring in the Porsche Cup Championship on Wednesday, season finale of that, next Wednesday, be a good one. A couple of championships still to be decided. Dominic Engel, who we've tuned in on a couple of times. Nikolai Agard having his quietest round of the season. Agard more often than not this season, well, maybe not more often than not, but on a couple of occasions this season has been fighting with the top pros, you know, fighting with the likes of Schilling and Ansel, but nowhere near them tonight. He is some 50 seconds behind those aforementioned drivers.
David Schilling's a fast guy, isn't he? For 3.5k, he's very fast.
Yeah. Well, he started out in the Pro-Ams at Schilling, and he's the one driver who got promoted.
Yeah, he seems quick.
Can Agard get past Engel here? No, he cannot. I don't think Engel's fuel saving.
No.
When that's the case, it's very tricky to overtake here at Imola. This one's looking tight. Hutchinson at the front of this one. Perry is his teammate. Oh, interesting. So Hutchinson got past Perry. I'm not sure when that happened. I'm not sure if that was a pit stop thing. But he is ahead. But of course, for Altitude Esports, they don't really mind who wins out of these two, as long as they beat the other drivers behind them. Artem Udod has actually fallen behind them, so I'm not sure where Udod went behind either. He was ahead of both of these drivers, but maybe they've both recently cleared him. And then Ubithi isn't far behind either in that Delichess car.
Yep, Udod having a great race. This is huge points over Broderick, so that's going to extend his lead more so. He's going to be uncatchable with these gaps he's able to build to his nearest teammate. 2.3k. That gap to Talman's definitely coming down, isn't it?
Yes, but not quick enough.
No.
It's the classic Imola thing where it's usually, I don't know, I'm just taking a couple of Formula 1 examples, but it's usually close by the end, but realistically there's not going to be a move because it is so tricky to overtake. There might be a move here though, because the B2 is putting UDOT off well offline. He might dive to the inside here. Yep. That was very well done. The fact that he managed to get that stopped on the apex still was nicely done. It was fairly obvious that he was going to go for the dummy and switch back to the inside, but he pulled it off very well.
Great.
Do you go for those dummy moves sometimes? You know, fake to the outside and then
Yeah.
go on the inside? I mean, I think it's
Tracks
one of the
like
most
this.
satisfying ones.
Tracks like this, it's all just about getting them offline, getting them looking in their mirrors first of all to see if you can induce a mistake or, mess up their flow and get them on on the following corner sequence where they're offline. But yeah, the dummy move, depending on how I'm feeling, how my tyres are, and what the track conditions are like.
So Seth has caught Neo, who is saving fuel, remember. However, he may have saved all the fuel that he needs to save. I mean, we're going 4 minutes from the end now, and maybe he's reached the number that he needs and he can fully push, but at least it looks like Roseth still has a significant pace advantage. They're also coming across quite a lot of back markers now as well. Hedgecock, Simonson and Fowler. I think they're all catching up to the back.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be a good end. It's been a great race, actually, I have to say.
Yeah, really competitive.
Oh,
From qualifying all the way through the race.
no one in the top five's in their original position.
No.
And I think Anders Meyer will be very pleased with how he's executed this. I don't think, even the gap Van der Nesse to Meyer, I mean, Meyer's pace is looking great, so I think, apart from this Refest Neo, I can't see anything upsetting the top 5 order. But yeah, Roseth's looking strong.
The Mercedes grunt will certainly help Neo. See how he manages to pull away through the first part of this straight. It's most likely going to be the Tamburello chicane at the start of the lap, which is his best chance. We'll set the gap at 0.28 as they exit. Still 0.28. Now he starts to gain a little bit of time, but only 1/100 so far. 0.26, 0.25, 0.24, 0.23, gains a little bit more time. And gain a little bit of fuel saving from Neo, but not as much as what we were saying earlier on.
This is Molina.
Oh, and off goes De Molina. But he will avoid the wall, and hopefully he avoids the pits.
Yoicks. Was that for position they were battling there? Was that traffic?
Yeah. That was Fairley and Hooper who he was battling with.
It's a strange one. Hopefully get a replay of that one, just have a look at that from a few angles. That was strange. Strange place for an incident. Half a lane straight. Well, a quarter way down the straight.
Yeah. Still battles going on further down. Hendrik Zilk hasn't quite had the pace that we've sometimes seen him this season, but I think he's maximised the result. But he has lost out to a couple of drivers. Beats in the likes of Adam Hedgecock, though. He's well ahead of Hedgecock, who he was battling in the early stages. But he wants to keep this P26. He's got Jason Hodgson behind and Yannick Plescher, who was running, I think, in about 15th place earlier on was Plescher. He was pretty much in the lead pack that he had after the first 20 minutes, as Delgado has made a mistake. And that has dropped him... Well, he was behind... He was behind Kaibak, I think.
I think he's only lost to Veal. I'm trying to think where he was. He's down 3 from qualifying, but I'm trying to think where he was before the accident.
So he lost 7 seconds, or 6.5 seconds due to that mistake.
Okay, we've got a replay of the incident we just saw.
Well, one car sort of has to come off the curb, I guess, and that's the reason why they merge.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's the inside car's fault, isn't it?
I don't.
I mean, I don't know what this guy's meant to do.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
White flag's out. And Lucas Tailman, as Vila, by the way, has got past Kai back.
What? That was tight. It's still going to be tight, but I think the inside car's got this. That vet's looking fired up. I've enjoyed these little tactical battles on track today. It's been really good to watch.
Yes.
Only had a few incidents, nothing malicious, you know. It's all been very well executed stuff. The fuel saving phase was a bit weird, like how much time, but it didn't spoil the race.
Nikolai Agard still behind Dominic Enkel. He's not got past. Behind them, I think, is a back marker, so they don't need to worry about him. Out in the lead, Lucas Tailman is on course for, I believe, a first race win of the season. He did win last time out, but he wasn't allowed to keep it because he was involved in a crash. But I don't think there's any doubt about this one. He's perfected the fuel, the shortest pit stop of anyone. And the Delachaz automated by Major's Garage driver, Lucas Tailman, takes the 6th round of Apex Racing League GT3 trophy. Meyer retakes the lead of the championship. Vandenesse did what everything he could in those last 10 minutes, really, to take home 3rd place. Ian was set in 4th and 5th. Top of the Pro-Ams will be Hutchinson, who beats his teammate Tim Perry. That will be a very good points haul for Hutchinson, who's had to miss a couple of rounds so far this season. And it will be Artem Udod, who continues to march towards the Amateur Championship. It's difficult to see him not winning it now for Walk Racing Esports with a huge 30-40 second margin in the Amateurs.
Yeah, impressive stuff. What a race. Yeah, I mean, Tailman executed perfectly. Meyer took the opportunity as well. Vandenesse had a solid race, just didn't go his way. Neo was brave and went for it. And Racef, super solid. I mean, great race. Great top 5. And Ansel and Chin, great battle out there. Looks like Ansel got it in the end.
And Broderick could not get past Zilk. So Zilk does hold on to that position. But yeah, it was a really good race.
Yeah, for sure.
A race of stages, I think. First part, sort of what we expected. Then we had 10 minutes of the slowest driving you'll ever see when leading a race. And then after that, Neo put the hammer down, but Tailman was able to keep tabs. I mean, I think Tailman, did he win that race on patience? Because like I said, he never, when he was in the lead, for those few laps he was in the lead, he didn't push. And once Neo took the lead and did start pushing, Tailman was able to just sit behind, use the drafts, and had the shortest pit stop of anyone, and went that extra lap longer as well on fuel.
We said it would be run in pit stop, and he had the shortest pit stop.
Yep.
It doesn't get much simpler than that because he stayed out of trouble like it was his to take. I mean, that pass he got on Vandenesse early in the race worked. I mean, he managed to fuel on his own. I mean, it was a bit strange how much time they were saving. I think, yeah, Lucas just executed it perfectly, really.
He really did. Well, we've got the final results now. We can go through, and it was Tailman who takes the win. Meyer was closing in the closing stages, but I mean, Tailman I think was cruising by that point in the race. Vandenesse will be very frustrated with P3. Pole position for the 4th race in a row, but he cannot convert this one into a race win. Then it was Neo who led for so long, but didn't take enough fuel at his pit stop. He was always going to be in a tricky spot, was Neo, but I think a P2 would have been possible had he been willing to take a little bit more fuel, because he was having to save a lot in that second half of the race. Roseth in 5th place, Ansel, Schilling, Glenn, Bile and Kleibach rounding out the top 10. Hutchinson, Perry and Fairley were the podium in the Pro-Ams. Amazing day there for Altitude Esports Silver, by far their best result of the season. And then in the amateurs, it was Udod, well clear, over 40 seconds clear of Hendrik Zilk, who held off Aaron Broderick in the closing stages. Maybe Zilk actually got past Broderick, because Broderick only was up 11 places by the end. That was for 25th overall and 2nd and 3rd in the amateurs. Now, you always have a interview with a couple of our drivers, and well, we have one available, and it is with our race winner, Lucas Tellman, who joins us now. Lucas, congratulations, a really good race win there. Take us back to that first 20 minutes, because I don't think I've ever seen a lead driver drive so slow. I mean, have you been involved in a race like that before, where the fuel saving has been so severe as it was in that first 20 minutes?
Yeah, it has been a very tough race with the fuel saving full of strategy. In the first half of the race, I thought I had the pace to lead and gain a bit of time to the others, and finally not. So yeah, I wanted to be in P2 because it was better for the safe fuel, but I was in P1. So yeah, I wanted to let pass the other, but yeah, it was full of strategy. Thank you to my engineer, because he did a great job, and yeah, it was a very tough race.
Absolutely, because you nailed your fuel saving there. I mean, we're looking at the pit stop times, 17.1 seconds. That's 0.8 faster than Maya, a second faster than Van der Nesse, 1.8 seconds faster than Neo. I mean, do you think you're just naturally usually good at fuel saving, or do you think you particularly nailed it tonight on circuit?
I think first, thanks to the fuel saving, my tires was also in a good position at the end of the race compared to Anders. But yeah, the fuel saving saved me today.
Definitely. And then how was it in that second half of the race? Because Anders was coming back a little bit, but it seemed like you had everything in control by that point.
I came back. I came back out of the pit lane, and my engineers told me that there were 12 laps left, and I only had 10 laps in my car, so I had to save a lot in the last 20 minutes. So yeah, it was really complicated, and I thought Anders will gonna win, but finally not. So I'm happy.
Absolutely, you very much deserve to be with that one, Lucas. Well, is there anyone else that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you to Thomas Bourg, my race engineer. He did a mega job. Thank you to the team, the sponsors, and see you next time, I guess.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Lucas, and best of luck. You can make it 2 in a row next time.
Thank you. See you soon. And of course, thank you to the viewers for watching us, doing what we love.
Absolutely.
Nice job, Lucas.
Thank you.
That was Lucas Tellman there, winning the race today. I think we've got Anders Meyer ready, David.
Excellent. Hey, Anders, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, mate. Congratulations on a P2. Well earned. That looked like obviously, firstly, a very tough, long, strategic race, and the battle between you, Van der Nesse, and Danny Neo. It looked spectacular, but talk me through it. How was it from your cockpit?
Yeah, it was spectacular. It was fun. Again, I do it difficult for myself by messing up the quali. Really had more pace in the car, but when I got that off track on that first lap, I really didn't get back into the rhythm. And yeah, like I said, make it really difficult for myself. But I had some fun battles on track at least. But I don't know if a racing was possible. Tellman was really quick, so but at least my my main goal was to get past Van der Nesse, and I really just had to go for it. And yeah, luckily it was he gave room and I gave room, and it was a fair fight. So credits to him.
Yeah, it was great to watch. The fuel saving phase. Talk to me when the front 6 were almost 3 seconds a lap off of the back runners. Was that surprising to you to see the pace that the front pack were running?
Yeah, that was the strangest thing I've experienced in a race. I think it was. I don't know if they were trying to help some teammates get back through or whatever, but that was horrible. We had to suddenly brake really hard into turns, and I don't really think it helped the Mustang a lot, because the Mustang is great for that long lift on straights and stuff, and we could do that, but in the middle part of the track there wasn't really it didn't really benefit any more than the other cars, and they used a bit less fuel from to begin with, so I'm not sure if that was beneficial, but I also, because of the bad start, I had to use some extra fuel to catch up to the lead pack, so it was never going to be optimal from the starting position, but I think I managed to make the most of it in the end.
Yeah, it was very strange for me to watch as well. I could not work out what was going on. It was Danny Neo that broke the chain. He absolutely sent it on Talman and Nesse into T1 and then just drove off, and then everyone was now suddenly 3 seconds a lap quicker. But yeah, I think you executed brilliantly, mate. It's not easy to overtake at Imola. You had the pit stop to worry about, fuel. Your pit stop was the second fastest on track. Obviously, Talman was cooking. So again, congratulations. Great result for you and your teammates. So yeah, anyone like to give a shout out to, mate?
The first guy I want to give a shout out to this time is Danny Neo for breaking that horrible chain of cars and making it a normal race again. Special shout out to Sander Danielsen, our newest member in the AM team. One of his first races, doing really well. So big shout out to him, and shout out to all the guys in Racing Lab eSport and Racing Lab.no, CarX.no, Ford Norway, and SimiCube. And as always, big thanks to Apex for an amazing league and another cool race.
Excellent, Anders. GG's. I look forward to talking to you next round.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
Anders my runner-up tonight. As has been the case in a couple of rounds recently, he hasn't won since round 1 of the championship, but he is still championship leader.
Always in the big points.
Always near the front. Doesn't really have any bad rounds, does Anders? So looking good for potentially his first ever Apex Racing League GT3 Trophy Championship. Next round of the championship is, of course, Hockenheim, and that will be the B formats that we have for that one. That's in 2 weeks' time, because we have the Endurance Series next week instead. But Hockenheim, with the double race format, you look for that?
I love Hockenheim. Top 5 GT3 track. I say specifically because I like it in GT3s. Yeah, very excited. It's going to be some good racing, especially if we've got these. Everyone's so competitive, so it's a great watch.
Yeah, it should be really, really good as we move into the final 4 rounds of the season. You can still sign up for the series, which many people have in the last few weeks over at apexracingleague.com. You can also sign up for the one remaining round of our Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup. There's a few more rounds of Super Formula Lights, and of course, spots still available in all 3 classes in the Apex Racing League Brutzi Endurance Championship as well. So do check that out over at apexracingleague.com. Of course, if you've enjoyed this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel, and tune in to the late Apex. I'll be going in about half an hour time.
Lots to talk about.
There will be lots to talk about. iRacing's development announcements. There's lots of interesting updates, some of which me and David are not totally convinced by. You can get our verdict on it in about half an hour's time on our YouTube channel. And of course, do check out the Apex Racing TV and Apex Racing League social media as well, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We've got lots of clips from the best of all our races over on that platform as well. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and from David Sampson and everyone here at the Apex Racing TV eSports studio, we will say goodbye for now, and we will see you back next time at Hockenheim. See you then.
Ciao.